So I wanted to briefly highlight to you today what I thought was a disturbing example of the media using polling and statistics to blatantly push a pro-abortion narrative just recently. Let's check it out. So there was some polling done by Courier Market Research. It's a company that we actually use for polling as well. But this time the polling was for the Taxpayers Union. And it revealed that while support for the National Party remained strong, support for leader Christopher Luxon had fallen slightly. But you'll see that it's been a bit up and down, although mainly up, significantly up just before Christmas. So what was the reason for the dip? Was it to do with significant issues such as crime, housing, inflation, the cost of living crisis, Three Waters proposal, petrol prices going through the roof, the health crisis, the handling of immigration in our border, COVID? Nope, nothing to see here. It's all about abortion. Yep, let's check it out. Firstly, Stuff said that Christopher Luxon's support fell amid US abortion debate. And the New Zealand Herald said Christopher Luxon's support plummets after abortion comments, according to this new poll. They immediately attributed the drop in support to Christopher Luxon's pro-life view and his, quote, mishandling of abortion politics, end quote, solely. Apparently it was purely about abortion. In fact, even Heather du Plessis-Allen from News Talk ZB used her column at the weekend to push the same narrative. She says Luxon can blame most of that slide in support on his bungling of the abortion debate. And it's not wrong to describe it as bungling. Now, this is despite the week-long polling starting 9 days after the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision, which sent the media into both shock and fits of rage. But apparently, all the voters were thinking about 9 days later was abortion. And if the voters weren't going to punish Luxon for having pro-life views, then the media were certainly going to try to. Now look, just to be clear, I think Luxon has been shocking on this issue. He correctly said at the start of his leadership that he was pro-life and that he believed abortion was tantamount to murder. Well, if murder is the taking of a life, which it is, then yep, he's correct. No matter how the pro-abortionists and the media try to spin the language, it's the taking of a life. But Luxon has also said that if he were elected Prime Minister, he won't touch the abortion laws. Sadly, he won't even fix significant concerns around late-term abortions, which have seen a 45% increase since the new law came in. Sex selection abortions, disability abortions, parental notification, the born alive provisions, conscientious objection, taxpayer funding of abortions, do-it-yourself abortions at home. Apparently, it's off the table. Well, dear Mr. Luxon, no issue involving life and the protection of the unborn and the welfare of mothers and fathers is ever off the table. Never. In fact, Mr. Luxon, with the Roe v. Wade case, it's completely back on the table. And the pro-life movement is energized, enthused, excited and raring to go. Watch this space. Now look, maybe there was some backlash to Luxon's contradictory stance on this issue, but maybe there was backlash because he had the audacity to demand that a post by another MP on this issue, on a conscience issue, be taken down to appease the shrill of the pro-abortion crowd. Or maybe it's because voters are struggling to see him as an alternative to Jacinda Ardern with unknown policies on fixing things like crime and housing and immigration. But apparently, according to the media, it's just about abortion. But none of us will ever know the answer because the respondents to the survey weren't asked that question. They just were asked, who did they prefer? Now here's the ironic bit. They were also asked what issues they identified as their major voting issue. And from the bottom, the largest issue going up, cost of living, economy, health, housing, poverty, law and order, policies, environment, COVID. Guess what? Abortion didn't even make the list. And then, next minute, it was revealed that the polling actually showed that Nationals' support edged up amongst women in July, and actually it was higher than the Labour government's, which is actually quite rare. You know, maybe women are more concerned about supermarket prices and petrol prices and gun violence than they are about abortion. Just maybe. It appears that the earlier coverage and headline was more about pushing a media narrative rather than being based on an objective, fact-based analysis of the data. And that is the sorry state of our media. Sadly, it's time they did better.